Hello everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to see what is happening with the Safemoon coin, especially regarding the security analysis report that came out with HashEx. Let's get right into it. To understand the basic scenario of what Safemoon is nothing but an altcoin which was invented back in March of 2021, earlier this year, right around when the Dogecoin phenomena was going on. It is influenced by Dogecoin in many ways, and to understand, it also comes from the Bitcoin. It is derived from Bitcoin but has its own variations in its own sense. This is also built on the blockchain technology, so also has that properties of the crypto exchange and with regards to safety standards. So those are all already with Safemoon. The thing that keeps Safemoon apart from other coins is with Dogecoin you say about to the moon. Safemoon is about taking safely to the moon. So that's what they're trying to stand for. That's what the company is trying to aim for. Now, what makes Safemoon apart from everything else is Safemoon, when someone tries to sell their coins or trade their coins or leave the Safemoon platform, whatever the buyer or whatever the seller has sold, Safemoon will take 10% of that and then take 5% of it and distribute it to all the other rest of the holders. So it's just incentivizing everyone to stay on the platform and disincentivizing the people who are leaving the platform. So that keeps the people staying on the platform and for long hold. That's where people are thinking that it would go to that $1 price and where it'll make everyone millionaires and some billionaires. Let's get into what this report came out about. So HashEx, it's a security, so it's nothing but a security analysis company that done this report or done this extensive research onto the Safemoon code. So let's understand what is happening here. They read the whole code, they understood or try to understand all the code, all the backdoors in the code, and try to see what were the different vulnerabilities. So they have listed about 12 vulnerabilities in the Safemoon coin, and some of them are of high severity, some of them are medium and low severity. They're talking about temporary ownership, renouncement, no safeguards. There's a exclude from reward function, excluded. There are different other functions. These are nothing but computer jargon, coding jargon, and I'll try to cover the most high severe, the most important ones that we need to be aware of, and everything else is nothing but coded functionality. Most of them can be fixed if Safemoon wants to. But let's get right into it and understand what these vulnerabilities are about. So they're talking about temporary ownership renouncement. So this particular article that came out, it's a very extensive article, and this GitHub repository goes over the whole research with their different functions within the code. Now let me try to break it down in a more simpler fashion. So they're talking about where the owner holds about 15% of the whole coin. The 15% of the share is held by the owner, and that's amounting to be about 20 million. And they're saying that there could be a rug pull effect. A rug pull effect is kind of an effect where the owner or the developer or the main guy can decide to leave or sell all of his shares or his trade in one go, and you're down by 20 million. So that could happen very much. It's very much possible, and that's what they're defining. So that's the first and foremost problem that they pointed out regarding Safemoon. So a 20 million rug pull that can happen because of the developer, because of the main owner of the coin. So that's where, and they could also result in a temporary ownership renouncement where the owner is left and then you're then stuck with finding the new main developer account. The second highest secret or the highest severity, the biggest problem in the errors was this particular function called as exclude from reward. So the HashEx guys, they are saying, why should this function be even there? By what this function is saying is you're excluding someone from the reward. We discussed that in the beginning, where if someone leaves the platform, 10% of their amount would, from the 10%, then 5% of that amount would be distributed among other stakeholders of the coin. But if that's the case, then why do you even have an exclude from reward function? This function, whoever you put down, say if you don't like John, or if you don't like Samantha, you put John and Samantha in this function, and they will not get the share, that 5% share that everyone is going to get. So that's why this exclude from reward function is there. And they're saying if someone malicious, even if that function is not being used, if there is someone who has malicious tendencies, they can attack the code and use that to remove everyone from that, or put everyone into that exclude reward function. So that's something they pointed out. And there are these three functions that they're talking about: tax fee, liquidity, max tax amount. These are some things which they think that they can easily manipulate and even increase it to the value of 100%. So with the tax fee, you could put 100%, and then you're losing all of your commission, what you're making out of that. So those are a few things that they're talking about. This is another high-end security problem that they've spoken about, it's called the excluded length problem. And they're saying that there will be instances when you're trying to remove the addresses from an auto-yielding. So they're saying that there's a loop that's happening in this function, and that loop goes on for depending on the amount of addresses that is present in that loop. And if that loop goes on for a long duration of time, then it could cause extreme gas costs, and it will keep this loop going on for a long duration of time, and until it reaches that gas limit, it will go on, and then it will halt everything. But the problem comes in where this issue can only be resolved by the owner. So the owner can restrict the number of excluded addresses, and he or she can only close or stop the broadcast limit and then solve the problem. But if his account, now this is a scenario which they are hypothesizing, then they're saying if the owner's account was not, or someone have control over the owner's account, then you're stuck with that issue where this could be an irreversible product, and this could have large number of issues. So that's where they're talking about. There's some other instances, other issues that they found in some other functions which are not too much of a concern at this point, but as much as the other ones. But another interesting thing about this is the HashEx team is talking about where they reached out to Safemoon regarding these issues and asked for clarifications. And this is something interesting to look into. So Safemoon is saying that these are not issues that we can update with the deployed contract without a hard fork. And hard fork is something you need to change the whole thing, and you need to change the master code. And only that's how they can change this. But in the end, they're talking about, thank you for the audit. We will keep your findings in mind if and when we hard fork. So they're not too strong about the hard fork aspect. Now, they're also talking about this exclude from reward function that we saw earlier, and exclude from fee function. These are both almost the same, where they're penalizing people. Now, they're talking about why they have kept it here. They're saying these are for exchange hot wallets, so that users are not unfairly penalized for participating with the CEX. That doesn't make sense to me. It could be in a different sense, and if you know, let me know. But it doesn't make sense. Why would you even put it if you're not planning on penalizing people? Now, they're also talking about the renouncement of ownership that we discussed earlier, with the 15% where the owner can leave and the 20 million can go away. They're talking about where such an ownership renouncement being able to taken back by the contract deployer, we are never going to renounce and have made our stance on that clear in the past. Internally, we have policies and procedures around how the contract operates to alleviate risk of mishandling values. However, you'll never see us modify fees or max tax. The best reason that they're giving is, yes, we have those things, and yes, those problems can happen, but they're saying, no, we won't do it. That's the best argument they're bringing up with, where yeah, there are problems, these problems are there, but what you're doing, what you're telling, we won't do that. Now it's up to us and up to people how much you want to trust that and see how far it can go. But yeah, again, from the other aspect of this, companies like HashEx and other who do these security analysis, they come with a different mindset. They have a different agenda of doing this. They have their own things. Think about the short sellers. If they are not, or if they want to short something in the stock market, they take about all these negative reports, and 90% of those reports are bogus, where they take up a small topic, small issue, and they blow it up as though it's a big factor. So keep that in mind, and if you're reading this report, read it with a grain of salt. I'll put the link in the description for you to understand and read it yourself. But keep an open mind when you're reading it. With that, take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.